of profit and loss. Now we heard this term profit very often. What happens is that in normal business scenario, or for that matter in anything, when you go and buy something from the market, say suppose you go and buy the pencil for rupees 10. Now the buyer or the shopkeeper who sells it, suppose he bought that same pencil box, bought stroke purchased, bought is also known as purchased, for say rupees 8. So what will happen here is that the shopkeeper bought this pencil box at 8 and he sold it off for 10. So basically in such a case, when the selling price is what? For the shopkeeper, the selling price is the price at which he has sold that item, which is rupees 10 in our case, is greater than the cost price. Now cost price, or the purchase price as it is called, or the buy price, is the price at which this was bought by the shopkeeper. So when the selling price is greater than the cost price, then we say that the shopkeeper has made profit or gains. Now simply calculating what is the profit, what is the value of this gain? This gain is simply the selling price, which means the price at which he sold, less the cost or the purchase price. Why? I bought this for 8 rupees and I sold it for 10. So I made 2 rupees in the bargain. This 2 rupees that I gained, that I got by buying and selling, who is I? I is the shopkeeper. So the 2 rupees which the shopkeeper made are known as the profits of the shopkeeper. And profit is made when the selling price is greater than the cost price. However, what would have happened if the shopkeeper would have sold this pencil for rupees 6? Now what has happened here is that while I paid 8 rupees for the pencil, I only got 6. And therefore, if I reduce this, I calculate the profits, it's actually 6 is the selling price and 8 is the cost price. So the profit that I made is minus 2. Now the negative profit, which means effectively by doing this transaction, I was short by my money by rupees 2, is known as the loss. And if you calculate loss, loss occurs when the selling price is less than the cost price. Here it was the reverse. In case of a profit, the selling price was greater than the cost price. And in case of a loss, the selling price is always less than the cost price. So this is the concept of profit and loss, and how does it apply to mathematics is what we see in the next video. Okay, let us say Ram bought car for rupees 100,000 and sold it for rupees 200,000. What is the profit made by him? Okay. What I told you was that I need the selling price, which is 200,000, and the cost price or the purchase price here is 100,000. Now, when I compare these two, the selling price is greater than cost price, which implies that I have made a profit. And what is the profit? The profit is the difference between the selling price and the cost price, which is 200,000 minus 100,000 or 100,000. So this is the profit I made. Now if instead of this 200,000 I was told that he sold the car for 75,000. Now, and I'm asked to compute what is the loss he made. In this case, because the selling price is less than the cost price, that is 75,000 is less than 100,000, there is clearly a loss. And we know, how do we calculate loss? Loss is cost price minus selling price. So what is my cost price? My cost price was 100,000 less the selling price, which is 25,000. So my loss is equal to 24,000. So in order to compute your profit or your loss situation in your mathematics question, you simply see whether the selling price is greater than the cost price. If selling price is greater than the cost price, I made a profit, which is nothing but the difference between these two numbers. And if the selling price was less than the cost price, then I have made a loss, which is again a difference between the cost price and the selling price.